this concept of what's called inclusive research. Johnson and Wamsley are two people who have worked largely with people with intellectual disabilities, but I've paraphrased some of what they say as to what inclusive research is. It's activity that furthers the interests of people who are beneficiaries of the research. They put that number 1 because I think it means that it counterposes what the interests are very often of people like professional researchers, where we're furthering the interests of theorists, or we're furthering the interests of services, or we're furthering the interests of government. All of that is not the priority according to the philosophy of inclusive research. It's the beneficiaries' interests that are dominant. That the research is constantly made accessible to them and collaborative. And here's the crunch, that they're able to exert some control over the process and its outcomes. Now, they put in the word some. In Arnstein's model, she would actually say the epitome of user involvement is when they exert control over the process. It's not that it will be a shared one, it's very much civic groups that will dominate research. Now, this is all much easier to realize out with a funding structure that depends on governmental grants, for example. But I've been involved in projects that were done by parent groups or by service users groups in which they had total control over the process and very successful outcomes came from it. It wasn't funded by research projects, and not all research needs funding, but it is certainly something that is possible to achieve.